Hello, you join us at the WBV workshop, and today we're going to talk you through the isolators for the C, P and R series. We're particularly going to talk about the top-end isolator, the Fox SL EVOL. Okay, what I want to do is very first tell you what an isolator is. Isolator tends to be a mariner term for the shock absorber. We all have shock absorbers on our cars, and we kind of know what they are. In this scenario, we tend to know it as an isolator. It is a Fox Float SL EVOL, and it sits in this part. And what it does the suspension of your seat. So it does the damping characteristics. So we're just looking at the isolator. This is the suspension unit. These are very similar on top-end mountain bikes, and you see it in here. I'll just give you a few views of it. You can see it, and you have the adjustment we'll talk about in a minute there, and you can see, if I turn it round to the camera, if you can see that part, Sarah, is the Fox part of it. To adjust the pressure on your isolator, you need a pump like this. WBV can supply you one if you don't have one. So the pressure on the isolator is done by this. This is what's known as a Schrader valve cap, same as your car tyre, and that fitting fits on there. You undo the dust cap and you put that on there. So I've connected the air pump up, just screw that fitting down, and you can see we're running a pressure of about 250 psi. That sounds about right. You'll look in your book, that is one of the guide pressures. If you weigh sort of like 90 to 100 kilos, then this will adjust your sag to about the right place. And the air pressure is directly related to the sag. Sag seems a bit of a technical term, but it's used in mountain biking as well. You want your suspension to move a little bit when you're first sat in the seat. When you're looking at sag and suspension movements, there's a couple of different ways of measuring it, but one of the ones that Fox kindly does, they put an O-ring on here, which slides up and down according to how much suspension you use. So when you're setting your sag up, you can put it really close to there, and you can see the dimension, and you'll see how much that moves when you stand on it, and it will slide it down. That we're recommending that you do it so it's a bit easier to see when you're setting up the suspension on your boat, is the distance that this travels down when you've got the weight of your seat on and you sat in it. And that's just done by measuring the distance between the 2 points. So at the moment we've got 172 millimeters from the top of that plate to the top of that plate, and then you're looking for something in the order of 6 millimeters initial sag when you stand on it. Okay, so we're looking at the sag setup again, and here we're going to show with the weight added. So we've got a measurement there, and then the idea is that when you stand on it, you'll see the suspension move. You'll see it there. If I give it some good bounce, you'll see it moving up and down. You kind of just set the sag of what your weight is when you're on the seat. Now, we've got me yourself standing on it today, but normally you'd have your seat and you sat on it. So we've looked at the measurement across here, and we said that we want it 6 millimeters less when there's weight on it. So if it is a lot more, so say you're getting 15 millimeters of movement, you need to add air, so you increase it from 250 psi up to maybe 275. If you've got very little sag, then you need to take some air out. So if you're 250, maybe bring it down to 225. So we've set your sag up correctly, and that then leads to a very good initial setup of the seat with you sat in it. We can now look at some of the other adjustments on the front. So these Fox isolators have 3 adjustments basically. First of all, we have the air pressure, then we have soft, medium, firm on the suspension, and the rebound adjustment. We're trying to give you just a quick visual, and I hope this works for everyone, of the difference between soft, medium and hard, but we'll leap straight from soft to hard so you can see the difference. So it's all the way over this way. And if I jump on now and You replicate a few waves, you'll see the suspension moving, but not a huge amount, but it's there, good protection. Myself jumping up and down, not much of a wave. But then if we swap to the soft setting, then you should see it move a lot more for the same amount of bounce. And that really shows you how flexible this suspension system is and how quickly you can change your ride characteristic. Firm, and then just one in the middle, spot the difference, just halfway between the two. Right, the final thing to talk you through really is the rebound on this Fox Float EVOL. And rebound is the time it takes for the suspension to reset to the top of its stroke. You can have it some quite soft and you can have it quite firm. So on the higher setting, you may find that you feel like you're being ejected from the seat and you come back up to the top with quite a jolt. On the softest setting, you might not get back to the top of the suspension by the time the next wave hits. The adjustment of the rebound is done by this red ring here. At the moment, it's all the way around anti-clockwise looking from the top. And that means it's on its softest setting. And there's 9 clicks all the way around to its fastest reaction time. Now what we recommend is once you finish setting up your sag, you click it 5 clicks as your initial starting point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a great starting point, and that gives you your middle of the two, and that's spot on for most people. Get this manual with every item you buy from WBV, and it really does explain what you need to do on various bits of setup, all about your individual isolator and how it fits into your boat and how you adjust it. So the video is a reminder, this is also where it is.